Hello, everybody. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about something that can make or break a deal, a home purchase, make or break that transaction. That is home inspection. Should you get one? Is it always worth the cost? What if you're a seller? Should you get a home inspection before you put it on the market? Let's get into the pros and cons so that you can make the best decision for probably one of the biggest purchases of your life. Let's talk about the cons. As a real estate professional, I only see one con, that is the price. Now, depending on the size of your home, you're going to have to spend, we're going to focus on our home buyers now for just the next few minutes, but you're going to have to spend anywhere between $300 and $500. Now, if it's a huge house, you may even have to go a little bit more than $500. So, you're on a tight budget, right? You're trying to come up with down payment. You're trying to come up with closing costs. You're thinking, hey, I'm going to have to get new furniture soon. So you're on a tight budget. But for home buyers, for especially first-time home buyers, even though this may feel a burden, there are more pros than cons. So again, as a real estate professional, I only see one con. That is the price. Now, something to just be aware of, each home inspection, a home inspector, that's his job. So guess what? He's going to find something wrong with that house. There is no such thing as a perfect home. Please remember that. Even if you're a seller, your home is not perfect. So inspections can make buyers nervous. The report can be anywhere from 60, I've seen up to 100 pages. That can be a little overwhelming. You could think to yourself, boy, is this house even worth it? I mean, there's so many things that can come up. And sometimes buyers will look at the page or look at the report and go, 100 pages, this is too scary, I'm not buying it. And they walk away. But in reality, most of the items that inspectors are going to find are minor fixes. So just keep that in mind. Don't be scared of the report. Get with your real estate professional. What you want to focus in on is on any major problems with that home. Now, if there's a major problem with that home, obviously you want to talk to your real estate professional. Is it worth it to continue on with this transaction? Is it better just to say, hey, I'm going to get my earnest money deposit back. I know I'm out $300, but boy, if there's mold in the house and the house is full of mold, or if somebody was cooking meth in that house and the inspector found that, those are issues that are major, right? Replacing an electrical socket, or maybe the paint is chipping, those are minor fixes. So the report, even though it's huge and it can be a little bit scary, focus in on the things that are major. Again, I want to reemphasize that. Focus in on the things that are major. So what are the cons? One, that's the cost. So let's talk about the pros. So what are the pros? Peace of mind. Again, buying a home, this is going to be probably your biggest investment of your life. Even if it's your second home, most people, they don't usually downgrade, they upgrade. So when you buy your home, you're making a huge, huge financial decision. So in the car world, automobile world, we say you don't want to buy a lemon. Well, you definitely don't want to buy a lemon when you're purchasing a home. So it gives you peace of mind knowing that a professional, this is his profession, he has taken a close look at the property, right? He's going to see things that you're not. You're going to feel confident about your decision. You're going to feel confident that there weren't hidden surprises that you just didn't see during the showing. There are times during the showing that you're not paying attention, right? You're not paying attention. Are there cracks in the foundation? More than likely not. Are you paying attention? Is the electrical work done? You probably don't even know about that. How about the plumbing? What about the roof? On your walkthrough, on your showing with your real estate agent, what are you looking at? You're looking at the appliances. You're looking at the countertops, you're looking at the size of the room, you're looking at the paint. Those are things that you're excited about. You're not looking for major issues. Even when you do that, if you're kind of construction savvy or builder savvy, do you really know how old the HVAC unit is? Very hard to determine without the VIN number. So those are things that a home inspector is going to see. They're going to give you that peace of mind knowing that, hey, there's no major problems, or if there is, then we want to know about that. Because catching these problems early gives you the chance to either back out or negotiate the repairs before closing. So again, you have the right? If you see something, to back out, you get your earnest money deposit back. Yes, you will be out the $300, but that could save you $10,000 in the long run. But let's say that you absolutely love this house. I know the HVAC unit is on the brink, but man, do we love this house? Well, talk to your real estate professional. Talk to him about negotiating with the sellers. They can give you a credit toward fixing these issues. Now, they're not going to write you a check, but at closing, they can give you a credit, and you can use that toward closing costs for that house. But actuality, it means that you're going to be saving money at the closing table. So in other words, let's say they say, hey, I know the HVAC unit is bad. It's on the brink. We just didn't have the money to repair it. We are willing to give you $8,000 at closing to cover the closing costs. But that's $8,000 that you do not have to bring in, that you can keep in the bank and replace the HVAC unit as soon as you walk in. So there's all kinds of ways to do it. Now's the time to ask. Now, I just want to give a warning. The inspection report can be 60. I've seen some at 100 pages. Now, if you ask money for every single repair, the seller is going to get ticked off. I'm just telling you, I've seen it. Just look for the major things. What's going to be the major concerns? What's going to be the major cost that we're going to have to put in, and then negotiate that. Talk with your real estate professional. Something else that's important that an inspector does is he's going to look for safety concerns, right? He's going to look for things like mold, outdated electrical panels. A huge problem, I wouldn't say huge, but it is a problem here in Utah, is radon gas. The inspection company that I like to use, that I recommend to my clients, they actually include a radon gas test. Doesn't add to the price. They leave a tester in there for 48 hours. And after the 48 hours, you're going to know if you have a radon problem. Now, don't be scared off if there is. To mitigate it, it's not expensive. It's actually quite easy because it's a natural gas, right? All you want to do is take the gas, not to leave it in your house. You want to redirect it out through the roof or out through another way, because it is a natural gas, but you don't want to be breathing that in every day. So the company that I do, they test for that. They tell you, yes, this is below the level. So you're going to be safe, right? You're going to know that you have peace of mind that there's not radon gas. Now, that's a problem here. In Florida, it could be that the windows aren't rated for hurricane winds. So that's an issue, right? You got to think about, okay, am I going to replace that or not? So get with your real estate professional, see if it's time to negotiate. Don't try to negotiate every single line item on the inspection. Don't do it. It's just, it's not worth it. You're never going to get it. And just remember that every house has a problem. Even new construction. I've had the privilege of helping many buy new construction homes. Great, they have a home inspector, but I recommend getting a third party, because the construction company has their own home inspectors. Now, who are they looking out for? Well, they're looking out for the construction company, right? But if you bring a third party, and nobody can prevent this, you bring a third party that doesn't have any connection to you or to the construction company, they're going to find things, and again, you're going to have a little bit of peace of mind. Maybe you're out $300, but for the peace of mind, it may be good. So should you or should you not get a home inspection? Now, one thing just before we conclude is, if you are a seller, should you get a home inspection? Is it worth it? $300 to $500? It could be. I've never really recommended that to my sellers, because the buyer is going to get their own home inspection. If you take care of your house, if you maintain it, if you regularly look for problems, your house is in good shape. I'll give you an example. My wife and I, our first home, we purchased it. It was already in decent shape. We fixed it up. We put a new air conditioning unit in, cost us $8,000, a new roof, another $7,000. We put about $20,000 into it just to maintain it. Every year we tried to do something new, try to save up to that. And when we went to sell it, guess what? We got top dollar. And yes, he had a home inspection done, but they didn't ask for anything because they were such minor things. So keep up with the maintenance of your house, especially if you're thinking, hey, in a year or two, I may need to relocate, or I would like to upgrade my house. We'll start looking at things that you need to fix. Have somebody do regular maintenance on your HVAC unit. Get a roof inspector out there. It doesn't cost that much. And then when you go to sell it, you can get top dollar for it. And then you're not going to be worried about if they're going to be nitpicking over major issues. They're going to find something wrong with your house. So should you get a home inspection? If you're a buyer, 100% of the time, I say yes. Always, always, always. In fact, the brokerage that I work for, which I'm very proud of, it's ERA Real Estate, that's the franchise, but the brokerage that I work for is ERA Brokers Consolidated. And they have offices all over Utah. They also have offices in Nevada, in Texas, and California. Well, my brokerage requires that we actually go over a home inspection sheet, the benefits, everything that they do with potential buyers. So if we're going to sign up a buyer, we go under contract. This is one of the documents that we actually have to go over with them, and they actually have to sign it. So my brokerage 100% recommends that you get a home inspection. In fact, it's one of the documents that we have to get that buyer to sign. So as a real estate professional, I always say, just get it done. I know it's a little bit of extra expense, but you're going to sleep better at night. You're going to know that you didn't miss a major issue. And it also tells you that you're serious about this purchase. And this is probably the biggest purchase of your life. And don't let that home report, that inspection report, scare you. Usually everything on there is very, very minor. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I always try to do about one or two of these a month, trying to give something helpful. So in this case, if you are thinking about purchasing a home, get that home inspection done. It's well worth the money. It's going to help you in the long run. Well, everybody, I hope you all have a great week, and we will see all of you